My name's Ian Warshak, and about 5 years ago, I became ill with what I thought was the flu and ended up going to the hospital, to the ER, and it turned out I had a massive infection in my lungs, and by that evening I was on life support and on a ventilator. I was in a coma for 9 days, and when I woke up, I could not move, I couldn't turn my head, I couldn't do a single thing for myself. And before this, I had never been sick in my life. Like I had never been seriously ill. So, yeah, I mean, I went in and was not expected to really even live. I had multi-organ failure, was on dialysis, was talking about getting a heart transplant. All these, of course, while I was asleep. But in the end, when I woke up, my fingertips were black, and I was told I was going to lose some fingertips. And then a few days later, one of the doctors said, "Your feet don't look so good either." And it took me a while to process what that meant. And eventually, I had to have my fingers, all 10 fingers, amputated because they were dead necrotic, and both of my feet were amputated a few months later. So I went from being completely healthy and completely normal to being a quadruple amputee in a span of a few months. So the recovery was not easy. It was tough and it was challenging, and there was lots of questions and there was uncertainty as to what's going to happen. Am I going to have my feet? Am I going to have my fingers? But the whole time, my wife and I just completely trusted that God was using this for a reason, and it was evident with the amount of blessings we got just for supporting us. You know, all of our support networks. Oh man, what would I say to someone who's defeated in any part of life? I would say take hope. I mean, for all that got taken away from me. I mean, if whoever's watching this is like, "Oh man, this guy, he's really messed up," and I am. Like I'm physically changed.
Sure.
But that doesn't really define who I am, right? That doesn't define what my purpose is or define who I am as a person. And so, if people are going through something else, that doesn't define who they are. And God has a purpose for who you are and what you're going to be. And even if it's disabled, even if it's going through a disease or relationships or whatever it may be, that's not who you are, and that's not necessarily what God has designed you for. I don't know what everyone else is going through. The one thing I did learn through this whole process is that almost everybody's struggling with something. It's probably not outwardly visible. It's probably maybe not even visible at all. It may be completely inside of someone, but everyone is struggling with something. Everyone is dealing with something. It may be huge, it may be little, but and the reason I know this is because when you look like me, people feel compelled to tell you, hey, I have something going on too. And it's just kind of one of those things that, again, that is not something that I would have ever thought of before I got sick. I mean, that's just not who I am. And so, but yeah, I mean, I'm not destroyed. I'm not crushed.